It was the beginning of the celebrity system. What happened in the 20s with
Red Grange, a legend who transformed football, left the NFL world in deep mourning. Grange held every award, made his mark on every field, and etched himself into the memories of fans everywhere. Though Parkinson's took him, his legacy remains untouched, echoing in every stadium. In his final year, Red Grange faced one last battle as he developed Parkinson's disease, a challenge that would test him in a way football never had. Grange's body began to slow down. The strong, agile frame that once made him a living legend now struggled with the smallest movements. On January 28, 1991, in Lake Wales, Florida, he took his final rest. He left behind a world that he had changed forever, fans who would always remember his dazzling speed. Grange may have passed, but he'll forever be that unforgettable figure who lit up the field and left us all in awe. Grange was born on June 13, 1903. In the little village of Forksville, Pennsylvania, a quiet place of around 200 people nestled among lumber camps. His dad, Lyle, worked hard as a foreman, running 3 lumber camps. Life wasn't easy for young Red. When he was just 5, he lost his mother, which changed everything for the family. For a while, they lived with relatives, working toward a dream of a place of their own. Eventually, they got there, moving to Wheaton, Illinois, where Lyle took up a new role as the town's chief of police. In Wheaton, Red's talents began to shine. At Wheaton High School, he became a standout in almost every sport he tried: football, basketball, baseball, and track. He earned a whopping 16 varsity letters, something most students could only dream of. In football alone, he scored 75 touchdowns, collecting a total of 532 points over his high school years. His junior year was pure magic, scoring 36 touchdowns and leading Wheaton to an undefeated season. But in his senior year, the team hit a rough patch, losing one game to Scott High School in Toledo, Ohio, in a tough 39-0 defeat. That game was even harder on Red himself. He took a hit that knocked him out cold for 2 days. Grange didn't just stop with football. He was also a star on the track, becoming one of the fastest and strongest athletes in the state. By 1920, he was winning high jump titles and sprinting in the top spots for the 100-yard and 220-yard dashes. His speed was incredible. He could run the 100-yard dash in just 9.8 seconds, a blink away from breaking the American record at the time. After his legendary 1925 game against Ohio State, Red Grange made a big announcement. He was planning to sign with the Chicago Bears. This created a buzz around the league, with other NFL teams trying hard to get him on their roster too. The Rochester Jeffersons offered him a massive $5,000 per game, hoping to save their struggling team, but they couldn't make it happen. The New York Giants also tried, with rumors of a $40,000 offer, though Giants management later denied it. Team owner Tim Mara did visit Chicago the same day Grange signed with the Bears and locked in a game against them for December, eager for the publicity Grange would bring. At the time, pro football wasn't respected like college football. It was seen as a weaker, commercialized version of the game. Many college coaches, like Amos Alonzo Stagg from the University of Chicago and Michigan's Fielding Yost, strongly opposed Grange's decision. Yost even said he'd rather see Grange do anything else than play professional football. After the Ohio State game, Grange's college coach, Robert Zupke, tried his best to change his mind, directing their taxi on roundabout routes back to the hotel just to talk him out of it. But Grange stood firm, questioning why he shouldn't get paid to play if his coach was getting paid to coach. That conversation strained their relationship, and weeks later, when Zupke criticized Grange at a banquet, Grange left the event in anger. On November 22nd, Grange made it official, hiring C.C. Pyle as his agent and signing with the Bears. This deal was unheard of. Grange would earn $100,000 in total, including a cut of ticket sales, while most players made less than $100 per game. Before joining his new team, Grange watched them take on the Green Bay Packers, winning 21-0. He also agreed to play in a new Florida league in December, organized by former Yale player Tim Callahan. The grueling schedule started taking its toll, leading to injuries. Grange had hurt his left arm during the game against the Giants, and by the time they played the Providence Steamroller, the pain was too much for him. He even let a punt go over his head instead of catching it and had to be pulled from the game, which the Bears lost 9-6. He wrote in his autobiography about how he was booed for the first time during a game in Boston. which made him realize how differently fans viewed professional players compared to college stars. He knew he had to deliver on the field, or he'd face harsh criticism. After that game, Grange hired E.B. Cooley as his personal doctor. Cooley was a family friend, and Grange's dad wanted him to have support off the field. Grange also brought in another friend, Lyman Beans DeWolf, to help keep him grounded. Things got even tougher in the next game against a Pittsburgh All-Star team. The Bears were in bad shape, and even former All-American Bo McMillin advised Grange not to play after seeing his injured arm. They started the game with only 10 players on the field because of injuries, forcing coach George Halas to put an injured lineman in the game. During the match, Grange tried to block for his teammate but ended up tearing a ligament and suffering a broken blood vessel in his arm, which caused serious bleeding. The Bears lost that game 24-0, and things continued to spiral. Chicago had to cancel a game against an all-star team in Cleveland, leading to a lawsuit for breach of contract. Their final game of December against the Giants ended in a disappointing 9-0 loss. Grange reflected on the intense schedule, stating, "No other team before or since has ever attempted such a grueling schedule as the 1925 Bears, and I'm sure never will." After 10 games, the Bears ended up with a record of 5-4-1, but Grange's impact on the league was just beginning to be felt. On December 21st, the Bears headed to Florida to play in Callahan's Florida League. To avoid injuries like the ones they had during their earlier tour, the team decided to take week-long breaks between games. Their first match in Florida was against a team from Coral Gables, where Grange scored the only touchdown and rushed for 89 yards, helping the Bears win 7-0. As the Bears prepared for their game against the Tampa Cardinals on January 1st, 1926, rumors swirled about Grange possibly boxing, but he passed on that opportunity. The night before the game, Grange and friends, golfers Jim Barnes and Johnny Farrell, and Olympic swimmer Helen Wainwright, were pulled over for speeding at 65 mph in a 45 mph zone. Grange managed to get off with a $25 bribe. In the game against the Cardinals, Grange made an impressive 70-yard touchdown run, leading the Bears to a 17-3 victory. Before leaving Tampa, he and teammate Pyle invested $17,000 each in real estate, hoping to profit from the Florida land boom, which ultimately crashed due to hurricanes. The following day, Grange threw a 30-yard touchdown pass in a 19-6 win against Jacksonville, featuring Ernie Nevers. After a short break, Grange shined again in New Orleans, rushing for 136 yards and scoring a touchdown in a 14-0 shutout. On January 31st, the Bears defeated the Seattle All-Stars 34-0, with Grange scoring 2 touchdowns and rushing for 99 yards. Unfortunately, injuries struck again, affecting teammates Wilson and Raleigh Corbett. Grange and his friends set up a fund for Corbett, donating $50 each. The Bears finished their late December and January tour with an 8-1 record. After the Seattle game, Grange received his final rookie check for $50,000, totaling around $125,000 for the season. He felt optimistic about his future, thinking, "Now I thought I could go on to make it $1 million." Grange's barnstorming tours are often credited with saving professional football, although some critics question his impact due to injuries and inconsistent performances. A February 1926 Chicago Tribune article noted that while he attracted crowds, he didn't always shine like his teammates. Football historian John M. Carroll acknowledged that Grange helped elevate professional football, but Grange himself expressed disappointment in how the league supported players from his era. After the January tour, Pyle tried to buy into the Bears but was denied, leading him and Grange to create their own team, the New York Yankees, securing a lease at Yankee Stadium. However, Tim Mara, owner of the Giants, blocked their plans, claiming territorial rights. To challenge the NFL, Grange and Pyle formed the American Football League with 9 teams. The Yankees finished second with a 9-5 record. However, during a barnstorming tour, Grange and the team were arrested in Dallas for causing a disturbance at a hotel but were released after paying a small fine. Unfortunately, the AFL folded after one season, and the Yankees joined the NFL. On October 17, 1927, Grange suffered a serious knee injury during a game against the Bears that hindered his speed and performance for the rest of his career. Although he returned to play against the Cardinals, his condition worsened. Despite his struggles, Grange continued to play, hoping he could regain his old form. He realized he had likely done serious damage to his knee during a later barnstorming tour and began to worry that he might not be able to continue playing at all. Grange's contract with Pyle wrapped up in January 1928, but he chose not to renew it. His injury had been a major issue, and he also decided to withdraw his investment from the Yankees. Without Grange, the Yankees struggled, finishing the season with a 4.81 record before shutting down due to money problems. Grange ended up missing the entire 1928 season, but made a comeback with the Bears in 1929. During his later years in the NFL, Grange had two standout moments in back-to-back championship games. In the unofficial championship game in 1932, he caught a game-winning touchdown pass from Bronco Nagurski, although some argued that the pass was actually illegal. Then, in the 1933 championship, Grange made a crucial touchdown-saving tackle that helped secure the title for the Bears. Despite being a football star, Grange was incredibly modest. He often said that even an ordinary plumber or electrician knows more about their work than he did about football. He claimed he couldn't explain how he played the way he did, he just relied on his instincts. After hanging up his cleats in 1934, Grange became the backfield coach for the Bears. Halas even offered him the head coach position, but Grange turned it down, saying he never had the ambition to be a head coach in either pro or college football. He stayed as an assistant coach until 1937, enjoying his time helping the team from the sidelines. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like NFL legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel NFL Icons. I'm sure you will love it.